Today's show is going to be a little bit different. We're going to skip the intro because you should know by now who I am. I'm Bree. If you don't, we're going to start there. Listen, last week was important, but I'm going to say this right out the gate. Real sisterhood doesn't require you to perform. It should just require you to show up, period. If it requires anything other than that, it's not a sisterhood. And from all the work that you've done from episode 1 up until now, if you have to do anything other than showing up, then you haven't cleared enough people out of your village to start over. Because sis, now it's time to get a new village. It's time to start over. It's time to recalibrate your boardroom. How can you do that? Are you ready? Let's get into it. Now, last week we talked about taking up space, about unlearning the shrinking, about the difference between arrogance and arrival. And I ended by asking you to practice the choices of the woman you're becoming before you feel like her. Now she's starting to move differently, starting to hold herself differently, starting to believe something is different about who she is and what she deserves. And here's where it gets interesting. Because now that she knows who she is, she's figured out who she can let back into the room. Because you put everybody out, even the people you wanted to stay, you had to remove them because you needed to sit in the silence to figure out who you were and who you were going to become. So now it's time to reopen the boardroom. Who do you let back in and who you don't? Do you let back in your day ones? Or do you let in the people who are your day 2s? Or day 3s? Or the people you haven't even met yet? Today we're going to find out. Who should we let in? This is why finding a real community after you've been isolated might be the hardest and most necessary thing you ever do. One of the most dangerous things that happens in seasons of hardships, toxic relationships, controlling partnerships, environments that require you to be small is that your baseline shifts. Meaning that you don't notice it happening. What used to feel like a red flag starts to feel like Tuesday, right? What used to feel like disrespect starts to feel like that's just how people are. We've all experienced that. What used to feel like loneliness starts to feel like safety. You get where I'm coming from? I bet you're sitting there thinking like, yeah. Because at least when you're alone, nobody can use that openness against you. So you adjust. You ever just been like around the person and you just can't wait for them to leave? Yeah, that's what that means. You stop anticipating being truly seen in a relationship. You stop treating emotional safety like a luxury instead of a minimum requirement. And then one day somebody treats you with genuine kindness, real kindness, no agenda behind it, no cost attached. Just, I see you, I'm glad you're here, and it feels suspicious. Because your nervous system, there it goes again, your nervous system doesn't know what to do with something that doesn't have a catch. That's not you being broken. And I'm always going to keep reminding you, there's nothing wrong with you. You're not broken. You've been in survival mode for so long that everything makes you feel like you're broken and you're not. The truth is that you've forgotten what healthy feels like. And the work of finding your village, real, honest, chosen community, starts with being willing to update your baseline. You deserve more than what you've settled for. That's not a soft motivational statement. It's a fact. And if the foundation of everything else it's built on. So now that we understand where we have to start at, where our baseline needs to be at, and that pesky nervous system starts to flutter and flinch again. But we already know what it is. Now we just have to implement things. We just have to tell ourselves to calm down. So listen, Before we do anything else, let's get a clear definition of what sisterhood is. Because you hear people all the time, oh, that's my sister. Oh, that's twin. Oh, that's baby mama. You hear ladies, women, girls say that all the time. But I think that there needs to be a clear distinction of what sisterhood is. Because how can you build a village if you don't know what the term sisterhood means? You need to be able to walk into the room with your sisters and not feel judged. It needs to be in a room with a group of women where you can be completely human and imperfect. You need to be able to walk into the room and be able to say that I'm afraid and I don't know what to do. And be able to feel the love and the warmth on your name, whether you're in the room or not. If you walk into a room and you immediately feel like you need to retract or make yourself small, that is not your village. That is not your sisterhood. And you need to start over. And the reason why I can tell you this is because I did not have that, which is the reason why I built Kall Her Beauty Empowered Initiative. I didn't have that village. When I started my journey, I didn't have that. So I built this for the women who are like me, who do not have it, because we don't have a room of women that we can walk into and say, I don't know what to do about this situation, and I'm afraid, and I need help, without feeling the judgment and the ridicule that comes with it. But you do now, because I built it. See, when it comes to sisterhood, it's supposed to be something that is supposed to be like fluid. It's supposed to move with you. Your boardroom is supposed to be stacked with people. And when I say stacked, it does not mean it has to be a large amount. But it's supposed to be with people who are supposed to not only love you, but be able to be honest with you. Not to criticize you, but to tell you the truth when the truth is needed. But to give you the truth with love and kindness. Not to hurt you or to break you, but because it's necessary to help in your growth. Because they too want to see you succeed and grow. And if the people that you are surrounding yourself with now, I need you to hear me when I say, this village is not supposed to require you to be perfect or finished or the end all. Because your journey may never end. Mine hasn't. I am still walking. I am still going through the exercises right along with you. I still do the mirror exercises and the affirmations and the workbooks. I have not stopped. Am I in the same trauma? No. But do I still do the work? Yes. Just because I built this does not mean that I no longer need it. I built it because I need it. And it did not exist. And I welcome those who need it also, at whatever level and version you are of yourself. First stage, finished, the middle, starting over, unsure, whatever. But at the same time, a lot of women have been through a lot of hard seasons. They are fiercely aggressive because they have had to be self-sufficient for so long. And I understand it because I've lived it. When you've been let down enough times, when you've had people who were supposed to be your safe space, and then they've become the source of your harm, you stop reaching out. You stop asking for help. You stop depending. You learn to handle everything on your own by yourself. So you don't look for anyone to even make a village with. From the outside, that looks like strength. I guess I can understand that. But underneath it all, it's not. It's the exact opposite. You've spent so much time believing that people will let you down, that people will harm you, that you have already made up in your mind that there's no one out there that is capable of being a part of your village, so that you have to do it all by yourself. And I know that you've done that because I have. But that's not true. You just hadn't found the right people. So you stay private. You stay quiet. You handle the weight of everything on your own. So you're exhausted all the time. And handling everything alone is slowly taking something from you that you can't afford to keep giving. That's not strength anymore. It's an armor. And an armor is heavy, sis. There's a version of strength that holds everything together without letting anything in. And there's a version of strength that knows the difference between being self-sufficient and being unnecessarily alone. And one of them is surviving and the other one is living. You've been surviving long enough, and it's time to let some people in. And how do you do that? I'm sure you're asking. How do you know that you found your village when you've had to rebuild your trust, but you haven't fully tested it yet? How do you know that these people are your people and you're still a little cautious about it? That's the point, sis. You don't go looking for your village. You have to be the person that you want to be around, meaning that you have to do the work. You have to do the same thing I did. You have to do everything that we talked about in episode 4, 5, and 6. You have to do everything in the silence. You have to do it alone. And then you bring yourself out of it and bring yourself into the areas where the people are doing the same thing. When I built this so that the people who were like me, we could find each other. We can have a safe space for all of us to come together and do the exact same thing. So that when we came together in our community, something would click. We would all feel safe together. That's what you're looking for. You have to trust that there are communities out there that are built around the things that matter to you. Kall Her Beauty Empowered Initiative is one of them. But at the same time, you have to give the new room a chance. You have to let yourself be led to it. You have to let yourself be known. You didn't survive everything you survived just to make it to the finish line alone. Your village is looking for you too, but you have to walk towards them. You can't let that feeling that you're feeling, that old voice tell you that this has to be too good to be real. Because I'm real, sis, and I'm here. I feel like I need to explain the difference between doing the steps on the isolation when you're in the silence alone versus being alone. When you do the part where you're sitting in the silence, that part is for you. That's where you go to the door of self. And if you do the curriculum for the framework for Kall Her Beauty Empowered Initiative, there is a classroom called Self. And in there, you work on just what it says, yourself. And that is your silence. That does not mean that your village and your community is gone. But it does mean that you have to work on that in the silence. It means that your focus is only that. It means that you shut out all of the distractions. It means that for a moment, the kids, the noise, the job, the friends, the going out, the partying, all of that does not matter because the focus is only you. Your village is still there. Your community is still there with you when you start this leg of the journey, because you will, I promise you, because I am in it. You will do this over and over and over again because I am doing it over and over and over again. The difference being that each time that I redo this, I come out a better version than I went in. I come out with better tools than I went in. I'm not starting from scratch. I'm starting from experience. That's the difference. But I'm walking this walk right along with you. So when I say the things that I say in the podcast to you, I'm not a person who's telling you things because I read it in a book or because I'm pulling it out of the sky. I'm telling you because I'm lived experience. I'm telling you because I'm walking in those footsteps. And the reason why I give you all of these tidbits is because I'm trying to keep you from creating your own footsteps because I'm leaving mine behind me. You don't need to create footsteps. I don't want you to go through this alone. I want you to go through it with me. I want you to join my village, and I want to be a part of yours. However dark your circumstance is. Sis, you have no light? That's fine, I do. I'll be your light until you can find your own. Are you alone right now? That's fine. I'll be a part of your village until you can finish creating what it is you need to create. And then I'll still be there. That is the point of creating this. It's for the people like us. All right, sis. Before I let you go, I got to give you some homework. But I want to tell you something. I want you to sit with this. I don't want you to feel like you have to be healed to be a part of a community. You don't have to arrive whole or be in the middle or at the end, or you need to be it all figured out, or you need to have known what you're going to do next. You don't. Being in the community means that you can be messy. You can be growing. You could be starting over for the 1,000th time. You can be of just taking your first step. You can be at the point where you have no idea what you're going to do next. You can be completely lost and still belong to the community. That is exactly what it's for. It's for you to start wherever you are, and that's it. So this is your homework, because I told you I was going to give you homework like I do every episode. So this is your homework, because episode 8 is coming. So your homework, your mission this week: identify one space, one community, one door, online or in person, where you have been standing just outside the door. And I want you to step inside. Not perfectly, not with everything figured out, just step in. That's your homework. I want you to do that. It's time to talk about lead energy, the shift that changes how you move through every room for the rest of your life. That's what we're going to talk about in episode 8. And it's important that you know that once you get inside, what you're going to do different. You've already become her. You already know that you're her. You already know what you want. Now you're getting ready to step inside the room. And when you step in the room, you need to own it. So you need to know how you're going to move in it. We're going to talk about that in episode 8. So listen, if anything that you heard about in this episode resonated with you and you're ready to start your journey from wherever you're at, I want you to go over to Kall Her Beauty Empowered Initiative, and I want you to take a look at the website. All of our programs are absolutely free to you. All right. You can go ahead and you can sign up and you can start your journey, and I'll be right there waiting for you. If you want to grab some armor, because the journey for the inside is taken care of by Kall Her Beauty Empowered Initiative. KallHerBeauty.com. Make sure that the armor that you need for the outside, the affirmation wear, so that everything that you want to say is right on the outside of you. That will be taken care of at KallHerBeauty.com. Everything, all the links and everything is going to be down in the caption. I told you today is going to be different. It absolutely was. Because we're coming up on the end of season 1. So, season 2, I promise you, is going to be something you don't want to miss. But the season 1 ends on April 26th. And right now we have a giveaway for a limited edition collector's item shirt from callherbeauty.com that is donated to Call Her Beauty Empowered Initiative. That is being given away. So don't forget to enter in for that. The shirts are actually really, really cute. But if you're not ready to join the village, that's okay too. If you want to start the leg of the journey by yourself, then go over to callherbeauty.com. The I Am Her Footprints collection is there. It's a digital download, so you get it instantly. It has some of the footwork that you can actually do on your own. There's a journal and a workbook there as well, until you're ready. And then when you are ready, then come back. We're there whenever you're ready. There's no rush. So just remember, you can get your affirmation wear over at callherbeauty.com, because the clothes that you wear should remind you of who you're becoming. And I am her, so are you. Peace, blessings, and keep showing up for yourself.